Hey YouTube, I started watching this thing about everybody that's playing telephone and all this, about the whole Brian Laundrie case and the Gabby Petito issue. Now, if everybody just pay attention to the video, how she was acting, she was distraught. Yes, everybody's just picking one side of the female that she was distraught, she was scared, she was nervous, there's something underneath. How do you know that there's something underneath instead of picturing a fake narrative on this stuff? Like, I really think it's kind of odd that they're just picking on the girl. They're taking the girl side instead of seeing what the man's side is too. Because I'm a victim of lies to law enforcement, of putting my hands on a female, and my wife could clearly tell you that I'm not. That you can't say that I'm a woman beater and I never put my hands on a female. What's just crazy is that everybody's not taking a look at the whole video. Like the cop says from the call he got was a woman beating on a man. How did that contradictory call come from when that call doesn't even have the date and time? Nobody's trying to see about that. This case should be in a thorough case. Like, it should be checked into thoroughly. Like, the date and time, that call that all these news companies are posting, that was of the call, the date and time. Now, it contradicts what the cop said, but the cop said that he got the call, that his dispatch got the call saying a woman was putting her hands on a man. Now think about it. She put her hands on him because they were taking pictures of the cuts and bruising and the gashes that he had. Like, he literally was banged up. Also think about that. What is she like, think about it too, like, what if there was somebody that was like, there are fan stalkers now that probably was stalking them. Yeah, they might have their little issue or whatever, but technically he wasn't allowed to be around her until whatever, like they go sign that paper at the court or at the sheriff's office or whatever. Like, think about it. There's a lot of things that is not making sense. You can't just jump off and say, oh, he murdered her, just because he's not saying nothing. We do have a constitutional right. It's called the Fifth Amendment. We have a right to remain silent. Anything that we say can and will be used against us in a court of law. So remember that, because I'm just trying to wrap my head around the whole issue, because I knew this dude when he was in jail. We were in Pinellas County Jail together. He always told me about how crazy his girlfriend was and how she's manipulated a lot of things. And I understand where he comes from, because I've been there. Because my mom, she was a drug addict. And I'm going to expose myself. Yes, I have a criminal background. I've been to prison twice. I'm an activist for a lot of people that are retired from being in trouble to being better people. I am an activist. I also practice. I practice what I preach. But I understand where he's coming from, because I've been there in that segment of what he's at, that he's being accused of something that he may or may not have done it. I mean, he probably has done it, but we don't know. And because he's exercising his right, we're forgetting, in America, we don't have to speak on anything. We don't have to. You could ask me something and I don't have to respond to it. Why? Because it's the Fifth Amendment. Okay? We're allowed to exercise the Fourth and Fifth Amendment, Second Amendment. We have all these amendments that are protected. These are legal standpoints that we're allowed to do that. Just like everybody wants to know what happened, but they're trespassing on that man's lawn. His dad could have probably pulled out a gun and started shooting all of them because they were trespassing. That's Florida law. They're allowed to do it. You see what I'm saying? People don't understand that. There's laws. We are backed by a lot of laws. We're back, like, our constitutional right matters also. You got to think about it. If a man does not want to speak, why keep pressing him? How do you know that he committed the murder? People said, oh, that homicide is murder. No, Tatum, which I respect, you know, shout out to my boy Tatum and the Hodge twins, that, you know, they're veterans. So I salute you guys. You know, 1776, baby. I'm about to buy up one of y'all sons in a minute because I got a shotgun. So me and my wife got a shotgun. We just bought our first gun. So, but like I was saying, it's like, you know, well, it's not me that bought it, but my wife bought it because I was telling her about her rights, and I feel like she needs to protect herself. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, because I don't care who it is, you protect yourself. Protect yourself. Somebody comes up in this house, you blast them. If I was to come at you, I would respect you for shooting me and protecting yourself than not shooting me and protecting yourself. I'm not saying I would do something. I'm just saying, you know, I respect it more because that's your right to bear arms. But like I was saying, this whole ordeal that's going on, we need to really think before we speak, because this is a serious thing. Like, there's people fighting to try to correct people that said, oh, he murdered her. Just because they found the body, they you know, there's nothing being said. They're even exposing that. They're not saying nothing about this case until it's fully finished. Why? Because the man's exercising his rights. They're searching and made up because he used a credit card as fraud. Now, how do we know he committed fraud? Oh, because the only way you committed a fraud is if you stole the money, or if you basically had took something without somebody's permission. Took money without permission, you know what I mean? Fraudulent use of a credit card. I had one when I was a juvenile, so I know what it is. I got charged state. How did the feds pick that up and warrant his arrest? That's because they're trying to force him to talk. They got a body, but how do they know he did it? How can anybody say he's done something? They're just getting... I mean, yeah, they probably fought. They probably went through this. They probably did that. Or he probably just said, fuck it. He just tired of this shit. And said, bitch, boom. Like, we don't know. You can't just run off the mouth about something we don't know about. I mean, you could have a speculation. You could have, you could think this might have happened. But I'm telling you right now that when you directly say blatant, he killed her, and you don't know that, that's lying. Because if you would have said that in court and you lied in court and they find out that you lied later down the road, oh yeah, you going to jail. You in trouble. That's perjury after the fact. I'm just telling you, I know the court system because I'm going through court system. I'm getting ready to sue a county and the sheriff office after my case is beat. I'm just saying, we gotta really think about what we're talking about, because a lot of these news people talking about, they're just pointing the finger at him, but what about the girl? You know what's crazy? In the statistics, more women get off on being able to go to jail for actually hurting a man than a man, because you know how quick it is and easy for a man to go to jail. Even if he didn't put his hands on a female, all it takes is a female to say, he hit me. And next thing you know, sir, can you put your hands behind your back? For what? Because, sir, yeah, we're arresting you for domestic violence. And some cops do know you, and they still arrest you because a female said that you hit her. That's why I get antsy when somebody goes to jail. Like, I want to play this whole thing out. I want to see what this going at, because I don't think a person would actually, if somebody really didn't hit somebody, why would they send them to jail regardless? That, I mean, you got to realize it. Some people are for the feminism and go and arrest the man because they want either, and I've seen this before. I witnessed this in my face. Some women say a man, like in prison, okay? I was in Appalachian Correctional. Girl was in the wrong. She told me she kicking my bunk so early for count, when I don't even feel like getting up until during count. I don't get up during count because they have to count your, they got to, literally count you. Like, let's say there's a dorm of 20. We got to count. They got to literally count the heads for 20. You see what I'm saying? And she kicked my bunk. I was like, yo, man, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I really thought somebody was trying to get up in my box or something, because I didn't have nobody in prison. Before I met my wife, I didn't have nobody. So I was literally having to sew clothing to fix people's, like, let's say their visitation blues, their going to work clothes blues, their shorts, their t-shirt, their socks. I didn't do no underwears because that's on Boyan and shit. But stuff. Sorry. Excuse me. I can't say that. But like I was saying is, I literally witnessed, because I said something to the lady. She yells at me and said and tells the dorm, listen, if we get locked down, it's on him. When she was in the wrong, because she kicked my bunk. I know I'm in prison, I'm doing time, but remember, I'm still a human being. I've changed my life around. You see all my stuff on YouTube. I'm at 160 something subscribers. I'm just saying, like, think about it. Like, what people do is like inhumane. Like, women, how some women, they do this. They literally say, like, they'll tell the police, hey, and I've witnessed my homeboy go through this before, a friend of mine. And she told the police, like, oh, he hit me. All because he was trying to walk out the house. Because she was like snapping on him. I witnessed this. Like, she was snapping on her. She was dead wrong, though. Because she snapped on him and accusing him for something that wasn't even true. Like, talking about that he was cheating on her. And I've been with him the whole day. And he was not cheating on her. And she was like, snapping like, yeah. You know how y'all women do it. Y'all like, you've been messing with that girl. You've been messing with that girl. And I'm like, nah, he's been with me. He's been with me the whole time. This girl's like, I'm not talking to you. Shut up before I call the cops and make you get out of the house. I was like, yo, you really bugging. Like, all right, I'll leave. I don't care. I was like, but you dead wrong if you call the police and say he hit you. I was like, because I witnessed him not hitting you. I've been around y'all the whole time. And I was trying to stop you from hitting him. Oh, I'll get you trespassed. I'll get you trespassed right now. And then I'll tell the cops that you... Like, she was scheming for real. Like, we got to think about this and be real with ourselves. Like, we don't know what really happened. We can't talk about it unless we were there. Like, that's why I get tired of people that assume things that they don't even know. Like this lady on 60 Minutes, she was talking about it, saying that you could see something's odd with him. He could probably be odd. Like my uncle got beat by a female, and he never put his hands on her. Listen, my uncle was hit with his own pistol. He's been hit with a baseball bat, almost stabbed. His ex-wife had keyed his whole car, and it was an old car, and it was all nicely painted, and the drop top was all perfect hand stitched, like it was perfect. And she keyed the whole car, broke the windshield, and tore up the hand stitched fabric that was for the drop top, and the plastic. You know how it's the back windshield window is like a plastic type deal. She broke that too, and beat him, and then sent him to jail saying that he hit her. And the whole time, he didn't even put his hands on her. Think about that. And he suffers from battered woman syndrome, where men tend to get hit and beat up by women, and they'll start mentally act because of their love or whatever. They'll start acting in denial, like how women act when they're physically abused by men. Like the men that actually hit women, like look how the woman acts when she gets physically abused, and look how the man acts when he's physically abused. It's the same thing. I literally looked at the difference. I seen my mom literally get choked to death, and I had physically grabbed his gun, and shot at the man because I almost shot him in the head. The bullet went like this close. Because I was 10 years old at the time, and he raped me at 10 years old. And then I just had enough of it, and then because my mom would get beat, my mom sat there and watched the whole thing go down. I never got injustice about that. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm married to a woman, I got kids, but it's a whole different subject. But what I'm saying is nobody cared. You see what I'm saying? I've spoken out about it. I'm an activism for that issues. But what I'm saying is the man deserved what I was about to do to him. And if it wasn't for his friend, that man would have died, because I seen my mom getting choked out. I said, you know what, forget it, what she's done. I'm going to save my mom. But women tend to put themselves into, instead of just leaving those type of men, they decide to keep themselves around that because they're so used to the abuse. But what I'm saying is, if that's the case, if he did murder her, then yes, he's going to eventually get something done. There's going to be something done. But they haven't disclosed how she died. She could have fell into the little canal, and it only takes 1.5 inches to drown. Okay? She could have died of dehydration. She could have they probably had a stalker and nobody knew about it. That could have been the stalker that was on the 911 call. We don't know. We don't know what was going down. He doesn't feel like talking, which is his constitutional right. But what I'm saying is that we can't actually force ourselves into telling, oh yeah, he killed her. But nobody knows. I mean, yeah, he could act weird, but remember, he has psychological issues. He just got beat by a female. And like she said, she was happy to take the blame. She said, yeah, I hit him. Yes, I did this because I was mad about, I cleaned up the back of the van and he dirtied it up. She's OCD. Think about it. People that are OCD that clean are like super neat freaks. Super neat freaks. okay, that they see something dirty, they gotta go clean it. You just put your hand on the table, they're gonna snap. Nah, you gotta smudge it. I'm telling you. I've literally seen people like her. Now, but I'm not making fun of her. You know what I mean? I'm just talking with the, I'm thinking out loud to show you that we can't really put quick to judge. Like, she has OCD. OCD is a severe case where people really get upset that something's out of place or that's misplaced or that is on the floor, anything. They get really upset. Like, that really aggravates the hell out of them. So think about that. That's like, a cop gets upset for you trying to grab his gun. That's how they get mad. They get mad like that. Like, they really get mad. It's like the end of the world. Because literally you kick something out of place, or everything's not straight, so you turn the little thing, they go and turn it back the way it's supposed to, and it's the end of the world, so they gotta take everything down and re-put everything back up. That's how serious OCD is. So I could see that she snapped and started wailing the hell out of that dude. Now, the dude probably, because he already, excuse me, the guy, just woke up. The guy has psychological issues too. I don't know about control. I mean, it's normal for a guy to not be like, look, because nobody knows how long her friend and her were hanging out. Like, that's like my lady. If she was to go hang out all the time, like, they're not going nowhere. I had an ex like that she has to bring her friend everywhere. I'm trying to have alone time. No, you're controlling because you want alone time. You don't want her friend there. You want alone time with your girl. It's normal. Just like my lady, if she was to bring her friend everywhere or always going to her friends, like, I'll be like, okay. Excuse me. You want that alone? When am I going to have my alone time? Is she in a relationship with you, or am I in a relationship with you? Which, her friend probably mad because she didn't want her to be in a relationship. Like, there's some friends like that. They don't want their friend to be in a relationship. And so they try to ruin their relationship by trying to keep her friend around. You see what I'm saying? By using, oh, well, we've been friends before you met Brian. So why are you trying to, like, why does things have to change now? We've been doing this for the longest. You see what I'm saying? Or she could probably been liking him, and so she caused the issue, and that's why she's bad naming the dude's name. Like, I see women do that all the time. Just like everybody wants to know about where's Gabby, or what you do to Gabby, or what happened, and they're not seeing that the man has constitutional rights. If he don't want to speak, he doesn't have to speak until he goes through the court process. Because right now, it's helping in his favor. It ain't helping in anybody else's favor, because of the fact being that means they just have a killer on the loose. Because what if he didn't do it? So therefore, they got to make sure, because now there's a murderer loose. They don't know if Brian did it. The parents did it. They don't know who did it. That's why they want Brian to talk. But if he talks, all it takes is for them to manipulate the whole situation, which I've witnessed. I've seen, like, there was a cop, okay, two detectives in the jail, in Pinellas County Jail. Pinellas County, they got their own detective unit. It's DIU. I forgot what it stands for, but anyway, that's not my job to do that. You look it up, what DIU is. So, Division of Investigation Unit, which they work in the jail. You got people that are case jumpers, they'll go to the DIU. People that are their crimes are being investigated, they go to DIU because they're investigating a crime. I went to DIU because I was accused. Excuse me. I was accused of stealing out of a man's house. Okay, like I broke into the man's house, stole his computer, stole his guitar, stole his amplifier, stole his plug, stole his paddle, which is a thing for the guitar that you hook up to, and you plug like two cords. You got one cord that goes into the paddle and into the amplifier, and then you got the plug that goes into the paddle and into the guitar. So that's why I'm saying, like, he said I stole a lot of stuff. Then he said I stole all these guns, but nobody knows. Because I don't even know the dude, you know what I mean? And nobody knows who really did it, and they were trying to accuse me of it and sentence me for it because I had a laptop, and that laptop was registered to dude, which I bought that laptop off of a crackhead. Because, you can get anything cheap from a crackhead, but I didn't know. Like, the crackhead told me that he if I gave him $20, he would give me a laptop. So I gave him $20 for the laptop, but I didn't know it was stolen. And at the time, I needed money. So what happened was the cops said that I was dealing in stolen property, but I didn't know it was stolen. And so I ended up getting banned from the value pawn shop. But the only thing that could get me was a DSP, which is dealing in stolen property, which I didn't know. And they forced it that I take the charge, which I could have beat it. I mean, it was easy, but it was just a little misdemeanor. But it was still the fact that, they try to say that I committed a much bigger crime than what I was actually doing, and I didn't even commit a crime at all. I was just, But that's what I'm saying, like, things could get twisted, you know what I mean? Like, even the detective said that, they twisted words around just so you could be found guilty on something, just so they could get paid for that day. So that's why you gotta think about it. My uncle's been a cop for 25 years. I got a friend that's been a cop for 15. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you gotta realize that when you directly point somebody, like, Dog's even giving his input and saying, you can't just say he did it. I mean, but it looks like he did it, but nobody knows exactly that if he did do it or not. That's just like, what if it wasn't him? Look how crazy it would sound it would look if everybody in the world was thinking that he killed this girl, but they found out that there was a stalker, a YouTube stalker, because there's deranged people. Like shout out to my boy Crypto, right? My dog Crypto, he had a stalker. There was people that they literally get stalked. Like, there was a lady that she quit her whole YouTube channel, blocked everything, blocked her name off of public information stuff because she was being stalked. And she was a big YouTube star, and she was being stalked and harassed by a stalker. So that's why I'm saying, like, think about it. Really, really, really think about it. Because if anything, it's probably a stalker that killed her. Because if they can't look, you got Dog the Bounty Hunter, you got the FBI, you have them using this whole high-tech stuff, right? FBI is the number one person to take control of has jurisdiction off of anywhere in the U.S., okay? For one. For two, they're known for no-knock warrants. Like, they'll come in your house like, yo, hey, what's up? Where he at? And you gotta tell them, because if not, they're gonna automatically charge you for harboring a fugitive. Trust me, I've dealt with FBI agents. I know these people. These people do not play. They find you. Ain't it kind of odd that they can't find this man? He can't be in Mexico. Especially with all them cops there. He'd get caught right there trying to cross the border. He don't know. He looks like what we call in prison, we call him a new booty. He's a new booty. Basically, he don't know nothing. We call them green new booties. For all my ex-convicts, comment the name of what they call them in prison. Like, all the names. Because I forgot some of them. So, like, I don't think he would talk to a cartel member. They'll probably use him. They'll probably kill him on the spot for even trying to ask to take him into Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm just thinking, like, think about it. All these YouTube stars, they got stalkers. So let's think about that too. Let's think about that he probably didn't do anything to this girl, and that he, she just probably killed herself because she was mad because he started to not like that she's, he's like, if you can't fix yourself, I'm going to leave you, and then you're going to have to earn your way back. And she probably killed herself. Like, she has psychological issues too. Like, you know what I mean? Think about that. Just like him. Probably he found out that, she's dead, because he hasn't talked to her in a long time. So therefore, he probably went and killed himself. Think about it. He left his phone, left his wallet. There's a lot of dangerous shit in the woods. I'm a survivalist, so I know about the woods and how to survive and stuff like that. But there's only so much that you can survive off of. And it's been this long. I don't think he's alive. I mean, I could probably be wrong. I'm admitting that I could probably be wrong. But I really think that there's something more to it. And we're probably never going to know. We will never know what's really going on. And the only reason why we won't know is Brian's the key person that probably knows what's going on. He's just probably scared to say it because we keep bashing the man. It doesn't drive somebody out by pressing them, and then violating their rights. It doesn't do it. Because you got some strong people. Like, y'all did that with other people. Like, old people. I seen y'all target old people. But this is a young dude. This is a dude around our age. My age. Okay? Think about it. If this man really did something, he'd be running. He would have been caught already. Because if he's not. The only reason I know the man one time is that he had a misdemeanor. But what I'm saying is that I don't think he know if he wouldn't know what to do, how to do it, like to get away and stuff. Because he's so green that he doesn't even know that he's running from the police. Like, he would have been caught already. They have supposed sightings. They're not sure that it was him. They don't know. But what I'm saying is that think about what's really going on. Something doesn't add up here. And everybody's trying to jump to the conclusion, he did it, he did it. It's easy to point to a man, but what if she's the one that caused the whole thing? And then she killed herself trying to blame him. Like, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I can understand they say homicide, but nobody knows. You better think about it. Really look at that situation. All right. BNN family out.